We are back with part 2 of answering common twin flame questions with my twin flame, twin soul,
and soulmate. What did we experience when we first met each other? That is a loaded question.
For me, it was super activating, and I felt like so much was happening every single day of meeting you. And personally, I was going through so much growth internally. I feel like spirit was right there, getting me ready in parallel to you so that I can step more into my queen energy, so that I can let go of more and more ways that I have stayed small. And I felt from the beginning that we had a deep soul calling and mission that we were meant to share. I didn't know in what way and how, but I knew that there was something that I was being prepared for and you were being prepared for.
Pure magic. Pure magic. So much magic. When we first met, it was like an initiation process. A lot of testing with other men, exes, other possible partners, and it was a true test of my patience. But for the first time, it was almost like I was standing watching myself rather than reacting to what was happening around me. We met at a music festival and then went to a second festival to meet up with each other. And at the second one, Shambhala, it was magic. Rings appeared out of nowhere. Gifts were given to us. I found myself acting in a complete different manner than I ever had before. In the past, I had a lot of resistance to giving to women, and in this case, I just couldn't wait to give and to show her my affection in the physical form.
For me, so many doors were closing before meeting him. I was just coming out of a crazy relationship. Then all these opportunities were being presented to me about other guys, and it was a test and a choice of where I wanted to put my energy and what I want to choose. I was really stepping into more of my self-worth and my power before we met. And yeah, just so much magic started to happen once we connected. And it felt like everywhere that we would move and walk together in the festival grounds, it was lighting up with Christ consciousness frequency. We were seeing miracles take place. It was like this path of light was moving wherever we were moving. There was objects appearing out of nowhere. This beetle landed on my arm after we finished a ritual anchoring Christ consciousness into the earth. We were balancing dimensions and experiencing all these powers move around us. There was something very, very special that was taking place there, and we both knew that we were starting on a really powerful journey together in whatever form it was meant to unfold.
It felt like something great was coming through this union, and it was so special that the universe was forcing us to see the magnificence of the possibilities.
I never felt someone who was so compatible with me, who was on the same path, where we studied these different things, equal, parallel, and different things that just fit together like a puzzle piece. I think another big thing for me was, we put it into the future of, if I meet that perfect person, then everything will work out. And it's a very different thing to experience, like, okay, we're at the start of the race now. Are you ready? Have you trained? And a part of me was like, can I just go back? And I'm not ready for this. And so as much as I felt like I've prepared myself, there's nothing quite like being in that relationship. And it was really a gateway and a test of, are you ready to rise to the next level like you never have before? Or will you fall into mediocrity? And it was really a turning point moment for me of facing my fears and my unreadiness in the ways that I hide from myself, from being seen, the ways that I hid from being on my mission.
When we first met, she kept motivating and pushing me to be my biggest, brightest self. Put on the big jewelry, she said. Dance big, be proud. Don't be afraid to take up space. Don't be afraid to penetrate me with your eyes, she told me. Which I was, because prior to that I'd gone through this whole ordeal where I was questioning my worth in every capacity, not wanting to take up space, not wanting to infringe upon anyone's territory, even their energetic space. So it was like another initiation into regaining myself and my power.
And as I was sharing that with him, it was just the day before that I was experiencing that initiation in myself. And so I found that our growth was very much parallel with each other. And as we elevated, we kept lifting each other up more and more. And I changed so much. We really were also experiencing, creating this pocket of heaven on earth everywhere that we went. Just experiencing going places where people were divided and judging and all these things. And then as we showed up, we created this ripple where by the end of being there, after a few hours, there was laughter, there was joy. Miracles were really taking place in the presence of that love.
Yeah, we witnessed separation turn into unity and connection, and it was so beautiful.
I also felt my creative channel and my creative flow open up in ways that I never have quite like that before. Just the motivation and the inspiration, even my voice, as my heart opened, it was like his soul became this puzzle piece that was just weaving my heart back into remembrance, and my voice opened up in ways that I've never heard. It felt like angels were singing through me. And then there'd be times where we were away from each other, and then my voice would go back to being a little more crackly and all these things. So there's definitely a power when we come together in the physical form.
I also noticed the same in my voice. She would tell me to sing, "Oh, I love your voice, you're so good." And I'd never been a singer, I never knew how to sing, so it was a huge change to all of a sudden being impressed by my own singing.
So what has been the toughest part for our twin flame connection?
The first thing that comes to mind is the time away from each other, although it made it so much sweeter when we reconnected. I spent my whole life alone pretty much, so I'm having trouble finding difficulty in the connection because it's been so sweet and you've been so amazing.
How about your opening up to new levels of vulnerability, or like opening your heart?
Again, it's been so easy. With anyone else, when I open my heart, express my difficulties, I find I'm met with resistance. And in the past with girlfriends, whenever I would vocalize my issues, it became an issue that I was having to comfort them through. And with her, it's been so beautiful. She's been so receptive. She tells me to bring everything to her. So when I would normally just shut my mouth and internalize it, I can bring it to her. And she soothes me every time. So that hasn't been tough. It's been so much easier.
For me, I'd say the toughest thing has been working through my own shadows in the reflection of our connection. I've had to reach a level of authenticity and vulnerability more than I've ever had before, to the point that any subconscious feeling or thought, like even if my entire waking day I'm not thinking about anything like that, if my dreams have something, he would feel that in his sleep. So it increases the intensity of things, especially as our spiritual connection is so strong, that whatever is experienced opens up other timelines and possibilities that is sensed by both of us at the same time. And so it's taken another level of self-awareness, self-reflection, and also not coming at it from a place of shame or pushing down my shadows, but of coming into awareness and loving awareness. And when it comes to being a twin flame and soulmate relationship, that involves clearing the karmic contracts and staying together, which means that internally for me, it's been a deep karmic clearing of turning over every stone inside of me and revealing all the things, all the incomplete parts of me that are looking to experience life, and how can I bring all that into the relationship without fear of judgment, abandonment, all these things, and just to be true to myself. A big thing is, what would you do if you were to meet the most perfect person for you, and in the midst of that, choosing yourself to the point of letting whatever happens happen? What happens if you meet the perfect person, and are you willing to let them go? Are you willing to be true to yourself in spite of the fear of losing them? So that has been the biggest thing, to be true to myself, even in the midst of a beautiful relationship that I don't want to mess up. And the only way that I can mess it up is if I am not true to myself.
Yes, now you've jogged my memory. The difficult times were when I was overanalyzing the astrology, having to understand the possibility of leaving her for some reason. And then the dream bleed. I kept getting all this insight through my dreams, and when I was bringing it to her, she wasn't seeing why I was seeing it and assumed it was projection coming from myself, and that caused a lot of disconnection between us, to the point where I had to close the door, and that was very difficult. Luckily, the astrology had prepared me mentally, so it wasn't such an emotional, turbulent event, but it was still very difficult.
So, what is the best part about a twin flame connection?
Well, the best part by far is the reignition of my flame to fight for my destiny. Knowing that somebody with such skill, such a beautiful soul, has the same mission makes it feel so much lighter, so much easier, and so much more fun to accomplish. Every day with her is like a miracle. It's like heaven, and it feels so good. Just the way she looks at me makes me feel like I'm floating on a cloud. Seeing her smile warms my heart and makes me feel so proud. Having her in my life feels like my greatest accomplishment.
I feel like our lives have just lit up with so much beauty being together. Every day it inspires me. It inspires me to share more love, to help others. I feel like my passion to create, my passion to be on my mission is so much greater and so much more fun together. And I feel so seen on such a deep level in our love. And when you get past the karmic things and the fears and all of these things, to go through all of that karma and the pain and meeting myself through the relationship was so difficult, but it also brought such a deep connection and a love that is more true than any relationship I've been in before. I feel so at home, and there's an intimacy on this soul level that is so special.